You haven't filed your taxes yet, we want to encourage everyone to get your paperwork together in one spot right now because that will make tax time less taxing. A lot of people want to file their taxes early because that way they get their refunds early. But it's actually much more important to make sure that you file an accurate tax return by getting all your paperwork together. So it's important that you gather up now all of those 1099s or your W-2s from work, and also grab a copy of last year's tax return because that will make things run more smoothly. We also encourage taxpayers to electronically file or e-file their taxes because when you file online, it makes tax time much faster and easy and safe and secure, and it's much more accurate than filing a paper return. We have a lot of options for people to file their taxes online. Also, when you e-file your taxes and you choose direct deposit, meaning your check goes right from us to you, you get your refund in the fastest amount of time possible. We are generally delivering refunds in less than 21 days when a taxpayer chooses to e-file and direct deposit their tax return uh, as long as there are no other issues with their return. So that's a great option for people. Again, the IRS does offer a lot of options for people to electronically file their taxes. You can go to our website, irs.gov, and choose our free file program, and that lets you choose from brand name tax software to file your taxes for free 24/7. And that's generally available to people that make $84,000 or less, which is most of us. We also have an option for people to sit down with someone face to face in their community and have a volunteer prepare their tax return and file it electronically for free. The Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program is generally available to low to moderate income families. And we also have a program for seniors. If you're interested in getting a volunteer site in your community, just go to our website, irs.gov, and put volunteer in the search bar. For taxpayers that are filing for the first time and may not know the ins and outs of doing their tax return, we especially encourage them to take advantage of our free filing program. Free File, by going to irs.gov, our website, is a great program for first-time filers with relatively simple returns because it's a question and answer process where you use tax software and it takes you through the entire process easily, fast, safe, and secure. And you don't have to know a lot about taxes when the tax software is doing it for you. And so that's a great option for first-time filers. Most taxpayers will be able to check on the status of their refund within 24 hours after they e-file a tax return, which is another reason we encourage people to electronically file. You can check on the status of your refund within 24 hours after you e-file by going to our website, irs.gov, and using our very popular tool, Where's My Refund? You're going to need some information like your social security number, your filing status, and the exact amount of your refund, and you'll be able to check on the process, whether or not it's been processed and when your refund will be delivered. We encourage people to use that to check on the process and check on the status of their refund. So that's Where's My Refund on irs.gov. If you choose to file on paper, it can be up to 4 weeks before you're able to check on the status of your refund. And that's another reason we encourage people to electronically file their tax return. There is one group of people that will need to wait until mid-February to check on the status of their refund, even if they filed early. By law, the IRS will need to hold refunds for tax returns that claim the Earned Income Tax Credit or the Additional Child Tax Credit until mid-February, so that we can check to make sure those tax returns are filed accurately. So if you're a taxpayer who claimed one of those credits, you will need to wait until February 22nd to start checking the status of your refund. And we expect that those refunds will start showing up in bank accounts or on debit cards by about March 3rd. If you are going to use our free file program, make sure that you always start the process each time, even if you start and go back to it, by going to irs.gov. That's the place that you start the free file program. Trying to go at it from any other source might take you to the wrong information. So we always encourage taxpayers to go to irs.gov if they're going to use the free file program, and frankly, to get answers to any of their tax questions during this filing season. If you are generally someone who likes to work on their computer, we know that the scammers like to be very active, especially during filing season. So we want to encourage people to make sure that they understand the red flags so that they're not caught in a scam. For instance, the IRS will not reach out to taxpayers unsolicited via email or text or social media to ask them personal information about their taxes or their tax returns or their refunds. That's not the way the IRS does business. So we encourage taxpayers to be very cautious about any email or text message or social media message they get that purports to come from the IRS because it's very likely a scam. Also remember that the IRS will not call taxpayers on the phone to threaten them and ask them to pay immediately by a certain way, like a prepaid debit card or a gift card. That's not the IRS way. That's not the way the IRS does business either. So if you get a phone call from someone claiming to be from the IRS and they use threatening language or they tell you that you have to pay immediately by doing it by a certain source like a gift card, that's a scam. And taxpayers should, of course, hang up and disregard that information. So we want to encourage taxpayers to watch out for scams this season. And one good way is to make sure that when you're dealing with messages that come into your inbox, you don't click on any message that you don't immediately know who it's coming from. Don't click on any attachments or links because that could take you to malicious code, or it could also try to steal personal information from your computer. We want to encourage taxpayers to go to irs.gov in case they have any questions about tax law or how to file their taxes, because that's the best source for getting your questions answered without having to wait on the phone, for instance. So irs.gov is the first source that taxpayers should utilize this tax season when they have questions. We are expecting to get around 140 million individual tax returns this season by the April 15th tax deadline. And we are expecting to get about 1.5 million of those tax returns from Iowa alone.